You know why we here. There's no need for an intro. The Hornets win tonight, 110 to 105. I feel like one thing I noticed off rip once I saw the final score, I was like, we held a team to 105 points and still won. Hey, that's hey already
And,
change.
and Draymond Green already has a technical foul, and it's not even halftime. Anyway, I'm sorry, but bro, the fact that we were able to hold them with Sagoon getting the start that he did, that is really the most impressive feat of the night. I mean, LaMelo honestly is the most impressive feat. He had a fucking damn near 35-point triple double, but I mean, Sagoon, he was on pace for 30 points, 40 rebounds.
Man,
Like,
he was hooping. I was like, bro,
he
we
was
can't
going
stop.
crazy.
Nick Richards couldn't get in front of him. He couldn't get outside of him. He couldn't affect his shot.
He could,
Nick Richards just seemed
and he was
outclassed.
piling up fouls quick. Like
Yeah.
it could have gotten really ugly. It could have
I'm
gotten really.
surprised it didn't. I mean, I'm glad that Coach Lee he put. I mean, what sometimes it was Miles, but also Grant. He would put Nick on Amen Thompson and then put whoever on Sagoon,
Yeah,
and it
because
kind of worked that way. But
yeah, like
yeah, at the beginning, I thought Sengun was about to have a 40-20 game.
bro, he had like 11 rebounds first quarter. I'm like, fuck 20. I'm like, bro, he finna go for 30 and 30. Like, he finna give us the ESPN 30 for 30. Like, oh my god.
But so, hey, one thing before we really get into it, I will say Nick Richards came out in after halftime. He was a whole different player. Like he was more aggressive. He didn't let Sengun just back him down and get whatever he wanted at the rim. I was surprised because I'm not the biggest Nick Richards fan, but I was surprised.
I have definitely seen a lot of Nick Richards slander on the TL. And for me, I like him as what he is, a serviceable backup who can potentially give you a double-double off the bench. He honestly didn't do that good on the boards tonight. I think he only had like 6 or 7. But he's somebody who he's serviceable when you need him to be in his spot minutes. But the thing is, he's not Mark Williams. He's not. And we need Mark, bro. We need him. And at the end of the day, it's like, bro, Nick is never going to be able to be the guy, nor should he have to be. And it's like the center position has to be addressed. Like, okay, Mark, you healthy or not, bro? And I mean, like, I think, he will probably be back, hopefully for the home opener, because they're saying he's on the court doing basketball activities. So that's a great sign. Like,
and him traveling with the team, I think is a good sign too. Because normally he would just stay.
Yeah, so I hopefully he's there. And this isn't a thing that we have to linger on, and it could just be like we forget about it. Mark plays 70 something games, and we're like, oh yeah, I forgot he was even hurt. Right. So I hope that's how it ends up going. But
yeah, because our center rotation at the beginning, they put Diabate in.
Diabate like 6 man, like what
3 minutes into the game. I was like, when I saw him trot onto the court, they didn't even bring Grant. I thought. Because I think it was because Nick Richards got in foul trouble. I thought, okay, here comes Grant.
He had 2 in like the first 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, so I was like, here comes Grant, and then I see Diabate. I was like, oh no, is this how bad it is? But and I get it, like you don't want Grant playing small ball 5, 3 minutes.
He gets foul trouble early, yeah,
right. So, but it was just like, good lord.
Charles knows if anything, Diabate might be able to hang off of motor and athletic ability. Similar to kind of Kai Jones, like. Yeah. Fuck it, just throw something different at him. And I mean, he was, and I mean, he did a little something. You feel me? But I still want to stretch big though. Like
that's what I've been asking for. Even if Mark Williams was completely healthy right now playing, I would want I still want to stretch big because there's no reason why Bertans was the first time we ever got even close to having a stretch big of any kind. Doesn't make any sense, but. Yeah. Luckily in this game we didn't need. Well, I mean Grant kind of played that role for us at the hitting that big shot towards the end. But at the beginning of this game, it didn't look good for anybody at the beginning. I think both teams were just breaking.
It was ugly. It was a very ugly.
It was a bad game. It was a bad game.
Ugly, slow start.
Yeah. I didn't. The Rockets, they didn't look good. We didn't look good. Actually. At the beginning, I didn't think we looked bad. It just the shots weren't falling. But the first night, I wasn't tripping over it. But at the same time, it still was like, okay, well, somebody has to do something eventually. But then as things kind of started getting rolling, the Rockets kind of took off a little bit. They got ahead like 6-8 early.
Sengun just couldn't be stopped, bro. Like He really was the one that put him on his back for real. And then Jalen Green starts hitting shots here and there, and it just like all of a sudden it was like we're down. But it was just kind of like, all right, how are we gonna battle back? What are we about to do? And I mean, it did get worse before it got better though.
It got a lot worse, and a lot of that was because of our boy Vasily Micic, man. That he just look. I don't know what happened. I don't know how you go from, and I don't think anybody who watches the Hornets thought that he would be this like amazing backup to LaMelo Ball, because I think we've all said that. Look, with LaMelo Ball's injury history, our backup needs to be treated like a backup quarterback to a team that has a quarterback that has injury issues. Like, you don't want to. There's going to be a drop off, but you don't want to be too significant. Like, I personally was willing to pay more money for a very, very good backup than to upgrade some other places. But
yeah, I mean, I was surprised.
I don't think.
Oh shit, you freezing,
okay,
brother?
My thing is freezing. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it was freezing.
Oh, okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
Probably because I got this Warriors game on. I'm about to turn it off.
But
yeah, I don't think anybody thought Micic was going to be this amazing backup, but I don't think we thought he would be this bad either. Like he was pretty horrible.
At the end of last season, he looked serviceable. He looked, and sometimes good. He looked good. Like at the end of the day, he would come in. I remember his first game, he had like 17 points and like he had like 8 assists. It was like crazy. Like, okay, oh my God, we got this former EuroLeague MVP and da-da-da. And it's like, shit, bro, we got a fucking old Luca or some shit. Like, I don't know.
That's what he looked like. That's exactly what he looked like.
It's just like, I don't know if he just wants to go to the Nuggets that bad to the point where he's just not mentally here or I don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, bro, look, if you're here, you need to be here. And but I honestly get the vibe that Charles Lee is not the type to really bullshit too much. Like, if he senses that you're not bought in, I feel like he don't have no problem bringing Nick Smith Jr. in.
I personally feel like if we had another backup player, if Josh Green was available and we could use Trey Mann kind of in that role, I personally feel like maybe Micic wouldn't have got the minutes he even got, because we saw, even though I'm looking now, Micic played 16 minutes. One, it didn't feel like 16 minutes, and if he did have 16 minutes, he was inserted into the game 16 times because every time he was on the floor, it wasn't for long. It was like a minute, 2 minutes at most.
And I mean, it's just great. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist,
2 for 9,
22%.
Yeah, so when he was in the game, I didn't feel like the game was impacted positively. I'm surprised his plus minus is only -2, considering what we were seeing. I think a lot of that towards the end, he did have some minutes with LaMelo Ball, so I felt like, of course, with LaMelo going stupid, that was obviously going to help out his plus minus. But Micic just did not have a good game, and I felt as though that's kind of what put us in the hole. Not necessarily him by himself, but just the game when he was in. While we were talking before we even got on,
the chemistry just didn't feel right.
Yeah, and the chemistry just wasn't right. I felt like last year there was times I felt as though he was too passive, but it worked because that's his game. I don't think that happened here. He didn't really look to pass as much. Any type of contact.
He was shooting. Like, why are you shooting?
Like Micic last year wouldn't have had 1 assist, 9 shots. Like that just wouldn't have happened.
I'm not gonna lie. He had a few times where, like, towards the end of the season, it was like he getting out of character. He was jacking, bro. He was jacking. And it was like, bro, what are you doing? And it was kind of like sometimes, okay, look who's on the floor with him. I guess he feels like he has to step up or whatever. Like, okay, cool. But it definitely sometimes last year, bro, I feel like he was doing stuff that was out of character a little bit. Like, and it's like, bro, you're shooting. Wasn't he shooting like 19% or 20? Really bad from 3. He kept shooting threes.
And it's crazy because he's never, like, you can look at his MVP season in Europe or whatever, his 2-time MVPs. He never was a great 3-point shooter. He was serviceable for over there because for some reason players sometimes they will shoot 25% over there, then come over here and shoot like 40. He's not one of them. He shot 20 over there. He's shooting 20 over here. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know why. I feel like personally he's just trying to fit in. It just doesn't work for him because that's just not how he plays, even before. So I don't know why all of a sudden now he's just trying to do it. He could be trying to play his way out. I don't know, but it does seem like if we were fully healthy, I don't think he has those 16 minutes. And the reason we even spending so much time on him specifically is because every
He
time he
was
was in the
selling the
game,
game.
we would start losing. Like they would just start going on runs, and then he couldn't play defense. Anytime he was any type of contact, he was losing the ball, turning it over. There was times where if he was getting pressed by Van Vliet, he literally wasn't able to get the ball over Fred Van Vliet to Trey Mann, who's literally basically next to him at the 3-point line. It was just ridiculous.
So what do you feel like the solution is if Mitch's continues to be a problem? Are you just gonna say fuck it, let's just give all his minutes to Nick Smith Jr. and see if he can give us something and keep Trey Mann where he's at, or do you just say, you know what, Trey Mann is our backup point guard and that's just that? And then I wouldn't mind that because that gives you minutes for Curry at the 2.
Yeah,
And
and I
when Josh
honestly, that's a
Green's
good
healthy,
point. Yeah.
when Josh Green's healthy, it's like Martin can still get those bench minutes, and we really wouldn't miss a beat either way.
Yeah, I think when healthy, I think that we can put really can put whoever you want there because I feel like the way our backcourt, especially once LaMelo's not in the game, our backcourt is just whoever. I don't think they really try to run it through a particular person. But I think I like Seth Curry's minutes. If you would have told me he was playing 26 minutes first game of the season, I wouldn't believe you. But here we are. While he only made 2 shots, they did seem timely. Like it seemed like we needed
it.
When
It was timely. It was definitely his and it was back to back. He had 3, then he had the free throws.
Yeah.
And it was all like boom, boom. And he did that last year. He would come in and kind of be a quick little microwave for us. And it's just like, bro, it's Curry wearing 30, making threes in a fucking game for the Hornets. It just means more to everybody. Like, I don't know.
It does.
He makes a shot and everybody goes crazy immediately.
And I thought his defense was pretty good. I mean, now granted, he wasn't being asked to guard Jalen Green Jalen Green, but still, I didn't. One thing you would think is that when Seth Curry is on the floor, especially at this day and age in 2024, they would attack him. They really couldn't do that. Of course, he allowed some buckets. One, he's like 6'2", the other part he's 30, like 35 or 34 or something like that. So, it is what it is. But all things considered, I thought he did pretty well. So to your point, I wouldn't mind getting him minutes. Josh Green obviously would be in the mix, and then Nick Smith Jr., which we know from Summer League, he was actually buying in a lot on the defensive side of the ball. So I think that if this is what we're going to get from each, we can split those minutes up. I'd rather see Nick Smith Jr. out there than see what we're seeing from him because he doesn't look like he's involved in the game at all.
Exactly. And it's like the thing with Nick Smith Jr., at least he's a microwave. Yeah. Like he'll get high and all of a sudden, oh shit, Nick Smith has like 12 points. Like, yeah, he'll do something.
I'll never forget the game against Denver last year where he had like 16 fourth quarter points or something like that. We ended up losing that game because Denver, specifically with us, I feel like every time they'll play until like the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, then go up 20. But yeah, he showed that he can, and I think he had the highest 3-point percentage of rookies last year. So
yeah, he shot, bro. He was shooting like 50% at one point. Like, yeah. It was crazy. But he didn't have enough attempts to like qualify like for the leading, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, it's promising. And the way that Coach Lee was talking about him in Summer League, seemed like he's very high on him. And I was kind of surprised to not see him tonight. Just because literally, Charles Lee came out and was like, we are going to see some young guys tonight. Whole time it's fucking Diabate.
I know, right?
Where the fuck is TJ, bro?
I definitely thought TJ was going to get some minutes.
Yeah, where the fuck is T-John? And I definitely expected kind of Nick Smith Jr. with that statement. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm definitely kind of surprised. I don't know.
Yeah, but with that being said, I guess we got to talk about the man of the hour, of course, which is LaMelo Ball. I felt like he couldn't sit down, though. He played 37 minutes. I don't think if you ask anyone on that coaching staff if they wanted him to play over 32 minutes, but here we are. He basically played 38 minutes. But that was because every time you could not, like I said, Meechits had 16 minutes a lot of those minutes were with LaMelo towards the end of the game because you could not take out LaMelo from Egypt. You just couldn't, or else the Hornets would either lose the lead they had or the lead would just grow. The difference would just grow. So LaMelo, what was crazy about the game, and even though he was 4 for 12 from three, he put up some bad shots. Like there were some shots out there. It's like LaMelo, why are you doing?
Yeah.
But I've learned to live with it because for every bad shot he put, one, it feels like he always makes it when he needs to, and then two, I actually do feel like it sets up the drives because we saw at the end of the game they were so afraid of him pulling from basically half court that he was just able to get by everybody on drive like all night
and finished
through contact, no contact, whatever the case may be.
That's the biggest for sure. And even Trey Mann, like he made a couple timely threes. He was able to start getting to the rim, it seems like Charles Lee's game plan is, we're gonna chuck. We're gonna chuck, bro. Like it just is what it is. We're gonna chuck. Like it just is what it is. And I know there's gonna be plenty of games where we die by the three. You know what I'm saying? When you live in a die by the three, it's gonna be games where it's ugly and it just is what it is. But hey, I can get with it.
Right. It's like how often are you going to live with Grant Williams taking the go-ahead 3-point shot at the end of the game? But that's the new era that we're in is that, like you said, we're going to live and die by the three. And there's definitely going to be some games where it gets us, but this is one of the games where, for us to end up shooting 39% basically from three, considering how we started, I think it's nothing short of a miracle because there's no way. We were shooting so poorly at the beginning of the game, but somehow they made it work. And Trey Mann was a big part of it. He was 4 for 8. So,
bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Trey Mann,
he didn't even start off high. He started off a little quiet.
He started off quiet. And my question is, do you leave him as that bench spark plug, or do you say, you know what, we need this firepower in the starting lineup?
I don't know, man. I like him off the bench.
I like him off the bench too.
In a lot, you can say that maybe it's because the rest of our bench, where's that scoring come from? But I like, even though also in this game it didn't really matter because he ended up playing like a starter anyway. And
that's the thing, it's all about who finishes. I really don't care who starts.
Right.
At the end of the day, I feel like we have such a deep team. Whoever's hot towards the end of the game and can help close that game out. And that kind of what Grant Williams even said himself. He's like, I really don't care. I just care about who finishes. And I feel like he's probably going to be out there most of the time.
Yeah. I think Grant and Trey, both. Because Trey Mann, I don't know, because where else is the scoring going to come from? Even fully healthy, I don't know where else is going to come from.
Yeah.
And I do like Trey Mann's we saw he had early chemistry last year with Nick Richards on some lobs and on some pick and roll stuff. So I feel like they might as well just keep that running. There's no need to change it because then all your scoring's in the starting lineup. And what I don't want is kind of what we saw tonight. And I was questioning
just stalling.
Yeah, we were just stalling. There was times where LaMelo was out there by himself for way too long.
It's like LaMelo makes a shot, and then you see it pop up, first team field goal in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. We just, you know what I'm saying? And that was the Hornets' Achilles heel for the past few years. Even when Borrego was here, and our main thing was scoring the ball, we would still find ourselves in droughts. And that would be what kills us. We haven't scored in 6 minutes.
And here comes LaMelo, half court three, drains it, and then we just start going on a run from there. So we need someone to be able to come in and score. And it was crazy because, like I said before, we knew Brandon Miller was injured. It was just what are we doing? LaMelo's out here by himself. It's either LaMelo's out there or no one, because even Miles wasn't out there.
It's time.
So it was
time to put in Brandon.
It was what is going on? I was like, what happened? Because I think we talked about this when we got on. I didn't see the play where Brandon Miller got hurt. I just knew he was taken out. But I didn't see him limping. I didn't see him grimacing. I didn't see any of that. So I was so confused. I was like, well, part of the reason we're down 18 is because our second best scorer is not even on the floor right now. And then, like I said, Miles, he wasn't playing at the beginning
aggressive,
either.
Really.
Yeah. So, what do you think of Miles going forward as far as this role? Do you like it for him? Do you want to see a little more from him offensively? I know you probably want to see more than 10 points, but like
I want to see him be more aggressive. But at the same time, I'm glad that he's on some I realize the people that I'm playing with and what's best for this team is to let them be great. But I think as somebody who is the longest tenured player on this team, which is kind of crazy, you gotta realize that, okay, right now we're in a drought. I need to step up. Especially, okay, they're on the bench. You feel me? Step up. Help. What are you doing? At least take some shots. And that's the thing where I just felt like he wasn't doing much. Like he just wasn't even trying. And he just kind of allowed himself to disappear. And it's like, bro, even though you look at yourself as a third option, bro, that's still pretty high.
I'm about to say that's supposed to be the whole beauty. Yeah, that's supposed to be the whole beauty of having Miles as your third option is that we saw last year, granted the team was falling apart due injury, but he was putting up like back-to-back 40-plus games. So it was like
hitting game winners.
Right. So that it's like, bro, this is the whole point of having you as a third option is this exact moment where LaMelo just can't be in all the time. Brandon Miller is apparently out with an injury. This is where I'm not asking you to drop 40, but we've seen you do it plenty of times. Like give us 15 at least. But he did seem like a little hesitant. There was times where he would just get lost in the corner. He would just stand there. And granted, I think a lot of our offense right now is a little stagnant. There's not a lot of off-ball movement, but it seems to work. I think that Coach Lee is kind of betting on the playmaking of whoever has the ball. Because I think we have so many people who can run with the ball, who can initiate the offense. But yeah, Miles will get lost in the corner. Like I know, especially when Trey Mann started cooking, Miles will just kind of be there and just watch.
Yeah, he just kind of sit in the corner. And I don't know if you watched Jeff Teague's podcast, but they just had Miles on there, and he was talking about what he used to be like to play with Kimba, and he was like, "Yo, Kimba was so amazing to watch. I used to just sit in the corner and just watch it." Like,
I haven't seen that episode yet.
Yeah, like, bro, hey, I'm sorry, bro. This is not the time for that shit.
No, it's like you're paid now.
So, like, right, hey, bro. I know Trey Mann look like, you feel me, fucking Allen Iverson out there, but he's
that's what he thought he was seeing. He saw flash, but he said, "Dang, this AI right here."
Bro, I'm sorry. AI. I keep looking down, bro. Santi Aldama has 27 points for the Grizzlies, bro. What's going on? John Murray isn't even doing nothing. Like, it's just Santi Aldama, and this is a close game. Like, what's happening?
And I just looked down, and DeJounte Murray apparently has fractured his left hand. Yep. What the, bro? This is starting to feel like
stop fouling every play. I think both teams are in the bonus.
Jeez, but yeah, I mean, overall though, I think LaMelo did his thing. We talked about it. I mean, this is the thing with LaMelo, you know what he's going to do. The only thing I'll say that's a lot different this time around is that his ability to get to the line. I felt like for the most part, he was getting a lot of the calls that he should have got. Normally,
the respect is definitely there around the league now. It took a while, but I think it's there now. And bro, he just had such a hell of a performance, and I'm so happy because the type of performance he had, it makes ESPN notice. It makes motherfuckers talk and respect you, bro. 35.
And it was like
damn near.
It was like a special 35. It wasn't because, like, all right, like for example, I look down at like the Rockets, right? Jalen Green had 28. It was a quiet 28. I mean, he definitely hit some timely shots, but it was like it didn't feel like he had 28, especially considering he only had 5 free throws. But LaMelo's 34, while only 6 more points, it was loud because it was, and then the way he would just be working off the handoffs, the dribble handoffs, the screens. Like it was just LaMelo worked to get every single point he got tonight. So I mean, it was a heck of a performance. And then 11 assists, 8 rebounds. Like he literally was doing it all. There was really, I think he was playing good defense. There was times he would kind of get lost a little bit. But I mean, I've always said this: if you can be my starting point guard and get me 40 points, whether that's you score 20 and assist on 20 or score 40, if you can generate 40 points a game, I don't care what your defense look like.
Hey man, Charles Lee has his guys built in. I mean, locked in. Like literally, LaMelo. It was like early in the game. LaMelo hit the three, and then he comes down. He gets the block on Fred VanVleet. I'm like, yo,
I was like, oh, LaMelo block. I was like, no way. That's just what I saw,
bro. Like, and that's the thing where it's just like, yo, I feel like the players this year are built in. And I know management has said a few things like, oh, we're just kind of going to see where we're going. But every time the players got, a microphone in their face, they talked about expectations, playoffs. Yeah. We hope that we want to be a playoff team this year. And I mean, they even said themselves, we got to be healthy. But so I think the players' expectation is, we're going to be a playoff team this year. And it's looking like it. They're bought in.
Yeah. Even when at the beginning, when we were down 18, 13, whatever, I never felt like the last 2 years where it was like, these guys not even trying. Yeah. I never felt that way. Now, like I said,
we were just cold.
I felt like we sucked. I was like, bro, did we suck? Like, what's going on? But I never felt like it was a lack of effort because the last few years it just felt like, bro, you could tell like everybody walking on the court.
And that's the main thing, bro. I always wanted PJ going because
he was real bad.
PJ, bro. I mean, even in games where it's like we're winning or everybody, it just always seemed like he was just sulking or just like, I don't know. It just always seemed like at any given moment he just stopped caring and just wouldn't be out there giving 100%. And it's like, bro, it's not too many players in the NBA that are good enough to not give 100% and to have a real impact.
Right.
It's
especially
not no role player. No role. Yeah. If you're a role player, you need to be going 110%
all the time.
You step on the floor. Like LeBron. Okay, LeBron last night he had 16 points. All right, he out here with his little son. All right, cool. He can do that.
And then also it helps when you have AD dropping 40 or whatever. So it's like, yeah, there's a time and place. PJ, right now where we were with the Hornets, there is never a time and place for you to be.
Bro. I hated that shit.
And see, that's how I like how we replaced him with Grant because Grant, I mean, up until the end, I don't remember him hitting shots.
Totally different fire. But
he was playing defense. You could tell that he was just talking like on defense, talking offense, talking to the refs. I felt like we didn't have that. We didn't have someone to kind of be like, look, man, they because what was happening was they which that's something I will say. Rockets got away with a lot of like pulling and tugging that I don't know. Normally teams don't get. I mean, they get away with it when they play us, but around the league they don't be getting away with it. But he was going to the ref like, hey, they're doing this, and then they started calling him Sengun because Sengun was throwing elbows all night. So just small stuff like that. Yeah, he kept going like just small stuff like that. I felt like played a part in it because it wasn't like he made it up. They were doing it. It just for some reason the refs weren't seeing it. But they started calling it at the end. I felt like that bit the Rockets in the butt. But yeah, I think that having someone like Grant, who, like I said, really wasn't doing anything box score wise up until towards the end of the game, he was locked in the entire game from start to finish. So definitely a good change of scenery there because we needed that.
Nah, for real, bro.
I even thought Cody Martin was pretty decent. I mean,
he was
closer to the Cody we extended than he was to the Cody that's missed the last 2 years.
And I think it comes from, you feel me? And I was watching your video and where you pretty much said he's as good as people around him. And I think it mainly comes from he doesn't need to be handling the ball. He doesn't need to be handling the ball. And I mean, it's just and it's not to say, he's a bad player. It's just simply, you have a certain skill set and you can excel in that. But when you're trying to get him to, do certain stuff where it's like it's out of his realm, what is the player supposed to look like? It was times last year where Cody Martin was trying to play point guard. His dribbling isn't good enough for that. His vision isn't good enough for that. We don't need to force this. We don't need to force this.
And they were trying.
But at the same time, bro, our guard room was so sad. Like, you got Tatum, bro, had people not even in the league anymore. Like, it's like, bro.
I just found out today JT Thorne's on the Cavs. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
JT Thorne?
Yeah. He signed after South Sudan and USA was going back for the Olympics. He got
that makes sense because he played well.
Yeah, bro, he was and bro, I think JT can still fuck around and have some type of career, and he's still only like 21,
Yeah, he's
22.
super. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
was like
super young.
barely 18 when he joined. When
Yeah,
he got
yeah.
into the
So
league.
it's just he can still come out and be something for sure. It's just like, bro, he just couldn't put together consistent enough. It's like he would show flashes, and then it's like, all right, you get minutes the next game, and you turn around and you got 3 points and 2 rebounds, and you just played 18 minutes.
Right.
I mean, that's enough time to do something. Like,
And he could never play a complete game. It was you were either going to get him to shoot very well, finish very well, defend very well. That's about it. You weren't getting all three in the same game though.
yeah,
So,
he just couldn't put
but
it together.
he
Even
just couldn't.
even Jalen McDaniels, man, he's getting passed around, and you know what I'm saying.
That's sad to see because I really thought he was going to have a future on this team, at least as a role player.
Oh God, bro, you know that was my goat McDaniels, bro. I fuck with Jalen McDaniels, bro. I saw the video, I thought he was our KD, bro.
Hey, bro, he was tough, and then
He
like
was tough. He just
it's hard to see his brother,
He just never
and then see him just. It's like, bro, come on now, like what? It can't be that far, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. There's been plenty of brothers in the NBA where one's really good, the other's not that good, but for them, they're the same person. That's what I don't get. It's like y'all play the same. The only thing is one focused. It was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even going to try to worry about offense. I'm going to just play defense. Now, maybe that's what happened, and that's what caused Jalen to not do well. But Jaden, he was like, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to shoot corner threes and play defense.
So I think he has it figured out, knowing like, yo, on a team like the Timberwolves, that's what's going to get me where I need to be. That's going
to that could be it. And that's another thing. Like, I feel like we burned a lot of players by not knowing who we are, and they couldn't figure out who they were because we just asked them to do so many things. And I used to say that about PJ until towards the end. Like, I was like, all right, PJ, you just not cutting it. But there was times where I would say, like, PJ would try to be center, and then would try to have him at small forward when he first got into the league. And then power forward every year, they asked him to do something different. And it was like, well, that's probably why he can't figure it out.
Yeah. Like, what are the players supposed to be buying into? We don't even know what we're trying to sell.
Right. Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly. And the only thing we know is LaMelo point guard. Everybody else
everything else is just like it's Miles of 3, it's Miles of 4. Right. That was the whole thing, because it's like, okay, Miles looks better at the 4, but it's like, okay, we need to get PJ out there. PJ at the 5 is at a 4, and it's just like we don't even know what this. Yeah, it was just roles were definitely a thing that and I think it might have kind of been, you know, JB a little bit. Was
because they tried to have him
not as
be
vocal,
point guard.
not as and then once Clifford inherited the team, I think he did bring a different attitude and all of that. But you know, injuries piled up so damn quick. He's like, yo, I didn't sign up for a fucking rebuild. Like, seriously, he's old, you know, and we grabbed him off the street. And he's just like, yo, I'm too old for this shit.
I actually felt bad for the second time. The first time I was still upset, like, why is he even on the team? But the second season, I was like, oh, I feel bad for him, man, because this is not what he has.
He doesn't have what does he have to work with, bro?
Like, this is not, and that team was pretty good, all things considered. Considered half the team was destroyed by injury, and then they had a front office who. Because it sounded like every night he was pleading. He was like, please give me some players. And they're like, nah, we ain't going. We ain't going.
Yeah. I ain't you with Teo Maladon.
And then you can make him look decent for a couple. Like,
oh, God,
there was some periods where it was like, oh, Teo Maladon could be the backup. No, that was just Steve Clifford.
I need help. Yo, let's call Ish fucking Smith.
Let's bring you Ish Smith and have him look decent as well. Like, it's like, bro, come on, man. But I mean, now looking back at where we were, looking to where we are now, I said this before. I honestly want to make the playoffs, of course, but I honestly feel like unless we win only 20 games again for whatever reason, I think we can walk away with this season with something. Like, I don't care if we make the playoffs or not. I think this season is going to be a step in the right direction because
for sure, either way,
we have the pieces. Players know who they are. They know what's going to be asked of them going forward. It's just a matter of getting the right players. Because if we are going to do this live and die by the 3, we need some people who are more prone to hitting 3-pointers. Like, as we just gave Cody Martin his praises, he's never been a 3-point shooter for real. So it's just like guys
feel
like that, we're gonna
what
have
does
to
he
figure
shoot?
out
About
something.
30, about 35, 36 at the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's fine for like if you're just trying to have someone that can spot up, but if we're gonna be putting up, because I'm thinking about the Celtics game the other night or last night where they put up 60. I don't think we're ever gonna put up 60, but it does seem like Charles Lee wants to put up a good amount. And I mean, asking Cody Martin to do it when he's never done it, I just don't know. And then also trying to do that without a stretch big is also going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the Celtics, they have like two. They have Luke Cornett and Porzingis, and Al Horford. So they have three stretch bigs on that team. So and I don't know exactly that's where we're going to go. It just seems that
The
way.
Celtics so deep to the point where they're like, "Yo, sorry, Lonnie. You want to go play for the main Celtics? You want to go be in fucking G League? Like, so you
And
got the
Lonnie
fucking
Walker
name?
is a hooper.
Like, bro, that shit actually is insane, though, bro.
And the thing is, and that's kind of why I bring up the Celtics, because one thing about them is while they do have Derek White and Drew Holiday, they're not really. And you can even throw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in this conversation. But they're not like we're going to be this great defensive team. They have just a bunch of shooters, and if you go down 15 real fast to a team that can shoot, you're gonna start putting up shit. Like you're just gonna put up bad shots, and it's gonna look like good defense. But in reality, you're just trying to catch up. So I don't know if that's gonna be the approach we take. I liked our defense tonight. I think, like you just said, I think everybody held their own. No one looked like out of place. Like
Yeah,
Nick Richards was the only one who I felt like, bro, he's just not cutting it on defense.
and
But
it
that
was so
second half, he
quick.
was a different player.
It was so quick, and that's the thing where it's like, okay, at the end of the day, we sustained their best punch. We
Yeah.
sustained their best punch. We took
After
it to the
Sagoon, they
chin.
really couldn't. They didn't have another answer.
Yeah, we took it to the chin, and that's the thing where it's like when I look at the Rockets roster, I mean, it's a lot of young talent, but outside of Sengun and Green, it's still really nobody up there that you're scared of. And I mean, Thompson, I mean, do I think he can end up being something? Yeah, but I think the way that the team is constructed, it just doesn't make sense.
No. And if anything, you're scared of what those players can become instead of what they are. Like if
Yeah,
Cam Whitmore is able to play more than 8 minutes a game like he did tonight, I think Cam Whitmore, I think is going to be a really good player, because I think
I
last
think
year
so
he had
too.
like a 25-point game against us specifically, and that wasn't his first time doing that. Tari Eason, I think, is going to be a good player.
That's the thing. Tari Eason could do that though. Jabari can do that. They can
Yeah.
all kind of pop
Amid
off,
Reed
but it's
Shepard,
just
like they
like,
have a bunch of
yeah, but it's
players.
just how do they mesh? And that's the thing where it's like you gotta have guys that are bought in. You gotta have carved out roles for guys,
Yeah.
because it's like, what exactly are we supposed to be building upon?
Yeah. So and I think we were able to take advantage of that. And I mean, maybe we only one step in front of them. I think they may have like the deeper talent as far as like if everybody on the Rockets is at their best compared to everybody on our team at their best, I think the Rockets may be the better team. But I think we're like 1-2 steps ahead of them as far as, like you said, our players, while we may not have, because we're still out here running Micic, I don't think they have anyone on that scale. But the only person I feel like who don't know where they belong is Micic. Everybody else knows exactly what they're on his team to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was a difference tonight.
And that's where, I really have no problem saying, hey, Nick Smith, show me something.
Yeah.
Show me something. I'd rather have young bought in guys on these rookie contracts that we know are going to be able to be a part of the core and be bought in. Like at the end of the day, look at somebody like Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics. Like, he knows his job. Yo, I'm coming in here, I'm scoring, I'm hooping, and that's it. He knows his role.
Yeah.
But
And it worked out for him. Like, dude, because did he request a trade? Or they thought about trading? It was something like that.
Peyton
Like
Pritchard.
it was like an internal. Like it wasn't like a news. It was after they won. It came out like, oh, he requested a trade or was unhappy with his role or something like that last year.
Oh no, I didn't know that. But
yeah,
I can't blame him though, because he's talented.
Well, that's what it was. It was like, I'm talented. Y'all tell me I'm talented, but I'm not getting the minutes. And then the playoff came and he went crazy. I mean, crazy as a role player can go. So, yeah, I think I don't know, man. I like this team. I definitely, like you said, I want to see Nick Smith Jr. out of everybody, out of all our young players. I want to see him. And as this team gets more expensive, I think that because in years past, we've had an expensive team. I mean, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, Mason Plumlee, I think had a pretty decent sized contract. Kelly Oubre had a decent sized contract, but we still weren't playing our young guys. And it's like, why are we choosing people we're bringing off the street over the guys we drafted?
We killed development for fucking mid.
Yeah, it just
we killed development
sense.
for mid. Like, yeah, it's
like you knew where this was going to go. I could have told you that 43-39 season was the cap. I mean, yeah, you're hoping on LaMelo, to take a jump, which he did. Miles to take a jump, yeah, he did. But you still had Terry Rozier, who just was not a fit next to LaMelo. You still had Gordon Hayward, who was not a fit next to LaMelo. But now I think they have like the addition, the base of where they want to go. These players might not be who they want, but I think they have like the archetype of what they want going forward.
It's actually insane to think that like we had Gordon Hayward as our highest paid player starting, and now, bro, he's dead as retired.
He didn't even try. I thought for sure this is what I thought was going to happen. He was going to go to OKC. He was going to find a way to go back to Indiana and be there for like 2-3 years. Something small.
I did not see him retire at the end of the season.
I did not see him just being like, after OKC, being like, I'm done.
It really shows like, bro, he was on his last legs for real. Like,
he
really was. Like, damn, bro. Like, that shit.
And it's crazy because like his family was trying to like gaslight everybody, like, oh, it's
like, bro, he's fucking washed. All he can do is fucking drop step turnarounds, bro. That's all he fucking has.
Hey, it was like, cash though. Hey, that was his one move, but it was cash.
One move, and then he would get at least 3 offensive fouls a game trying to do that shit. Like, bro, like, yo, we all see that shit coming, bro.
Yeah, it was so slow. It was like, all right, bro, it was like, get off the floor, Grandpa. He was struggling. He was struggling at times, but now, I mean, I like what I saw. Like I said, my biggest thing is just improvement from last year, and I this is automatically an improvement, whether we won or lost. Even if we were to get blown out, like it looked like we were going to, it didn't look like the same team. It just looked like we couldn't make shots. Once we started making shots, we saw what happened to the game, and it wasn't like we were hitting a crazy amount. We still only shot 44% from the field and 39% from three.
But the fact that, like, yo, we shot damn near 40% from three. That's what got us the game, because, yo, that's pretty much all our shots.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, with the centers that we had, I mean, I can't even say that I blame them. Like, yo, y'all go out there and chuck, bro. but I feel like even healthy, though, that's kind of in a way the game plan. Like, that's what we're on, bro. Like, at the end of the day, Charles Lee's young. I'm sure he's bought into the analytics, and I mean, come from somebody like the Celtics. I mean, they hold. You see what they just did. They almost broke the fucking record the other night. So, hey, at this point, hey, fuck it, we got a dub, bro. Let's keep doing it.
That's all that matters.
Once Mark's there, it should be different. We can go to the post and kind of feed him a little bit, and Melo's going to get the ball down there regardless.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to be able to do more lob attempts, because I felt like for some reason, and Nick, who's usually pretty good at it, I don't feel like he was getting up. Now, it did look like a lot of times he was getting fouled or held or whatever, because sometimes it wasn't called, but whatever. But I think that Mark, I don't know. I feel like Mark has just a better he has better movement, in my opinion, when it comes to specifically like kind of being in the paint. He just seems like a little more comfortable because I think that Nick Richards has to rely on that strength, while I feel like Mark has a little finesse.
He's definitely way more agile.
Yeah, because we saw, like, I think the first time Nick Richards tried to post up Sengun just pulled the chair from under him, and then he fell out of bounds. I think we were down like 12 at that point. I was
fucking Shaq the fool, embarrassing moment and shit. Like, bro,
shout out to him, man. Like I said, if we're getting, all the praise definitely go to LaMelo Ball and Trey Mann, as they had 50 of our points. But if I had to give like a game ball to someone who, obviously wouldn't be expected, I would give it to Nick, because he started off dog shit. I was like, bruh, like,
we need a center tonight. Crazy though,
huh?
Sengun still went crazy though.
He did. But I think Nick, it just from the beginning it looked like
25
Sengun
and
was about to go
18.
for
But
he looked like he was about to go 40 for 20.
yeah.
So in the second, but I will say, actually, now that I think about it, there was a point in time where they did not bring Sengun. Now, actually, now that I think about it, Grant Williams is the one to deserve it because Grant Williams put Sengun in prison. It was to the point where when Grant Williams was on the floor towards the end of the game, they just didn't put Sengun in. They're like, there's no point. And then at the end of the game, when they were forced to put him in, he tried to do that spin around on Trey and lost the ball. He couldn't really go up on Grant at all because Grant was contesting everything. So it really might be Grant Williams because they tried as hard as they could to prevent Sengun from being on the floor at the same
he
time.
Played defense. He made the clutch threes, even diving for the loose ball and all that.
I think he had to tip the ball too on a shot at the end too.
Yeah, he
to let Trey Mann get that rebound.
He tipped it, and then Curry tipped it.
Yeah. So, and I think I would give it to Grant over Nick because I was thinking it was Nick, but I mean Nick did better. But yeah, it was actually
he
more
still got abused. He still got abused.
Yeah, he did get it. It just what was crazy. It was like, dude, fight. Like this, like it was just like defend yourself, bro. Because Sengun really thought he could do whatever he want. He was trying shit. Like he was literally just drop. Let me try this drop step. Let me try this fade. Let me try this pull up. Like he was just doing whatever he wanted, and Nick couldn't do anything to stop it. He couldn't even get the rebound. Sengun would try something, miss, and then get his own rebound.
Nah, it really was crazy though. Like 11 boards in the first quarter is just absolutely asinine, bro. Like, God.
Next time we play them, I'm betting on his over. It's one of them things where if the Hornets lose and I get my money, hey, look.
Hey, oh, we
man. It looked bad. Sengun looked like a top 25 player at the beginning. Like it was like, bro,
it's crazy they didn't pay him.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy.
A lot of guys got paid. He did not get paid. Interesting choice, bro.
I wonder why. Everybody, I wonder if they're still going for that KD thing. Everybody says they're going for because that was
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a rumor. Well, was it either? It was either last year or the year before.
I remember. And it was like that shit was pretty serious too.
Yeah, I mean, but in the whole time during those rumors, they were like, out of all the players on this team, Sengun would be the one that wouldn't get paid, and it looks like that's the case. I mean, I don't know.
I'm paying Sengun over Jalen.
I'm paying Sengun, but we were talking about their roster earlier. I don't know if they have the roster to really like compliment Sengun because they don't. It's not like they can shoot for real outside of Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green, and even then, it's like because I think that what really is going to be beneficial because he's such a good passer, especially from the post. You just kick it out to people all day. And then, do what you got to do on the inside because he can also play outside. We saw that there was times before he was just sitting at the 3-point line. He wasn't even trying to go paint.
Yeah, he was shooting, bro. Oh God.
Yeah, I am surprised they didn't pay him, but I hope what I hope is that they weren't like go show us because he's gonna show them. Like tonight, he can be like, look, we lost, but because of me, I was the most efficient person on the team. Yeah, he literally was the most efficient person on the team outside of Jacques Landale, who only shot 4 shots.
Oh, yeah. No, you already know he was the most efficient because he was abusing us. But how do you feel about us not extending Trey Mann, though? I think I'm gonna do a video on that.
I understand it to an extent.
I think partly it might have been him. I think he might have said
I would get it more if it was him.
I feel like he might have said, this is cool, but yeah, I'm AI. I'm good. I'm getting paid.
If I was him, I wouldn't want to get paid off what he did last year towards the end of the season because we saw that that's not really him. Like, based on tonight, the way he played tonight was completely different than how he played, because he was way more passive last year.
Yeah.
We were begging him to shoot.
He came in at first, he was dropping like 16 and 18, but it kind of ended up being around that 10 to 12 point average, kind of where he ended up being at. But he was showing that he could do more, and it's just like, yo, we need you to do more, especially with all the injuries, and it was just kind of like, yo, like, what happened to Trey Mann? He's not really, going off like he used to. But now you can tell he's been to the gym all summer, and he's hungry.
Oh yeah, and he's perfecting that. I like that he knows how he wants to play, and he's just working on that. He ain't trying to pick up some small, like, oh, this will help me, whatever. It's like, no, this is how I think I'm good at playing. I'm gonna keep working on that. Y'all gonna pay me based on that. But I mean, I already feel like if he can do maybe what he did tonight a few more times, even throughout the first, I would say like first 20 games, I think he won the bet. If he's betting on himself,
Oh yeah,
if he does this
if he's
2 to 3
somewhere
more
around
times,
15 plus points a game, he's good.
Yeah.
If he can be in that 15, 17 range, possibly in the 6-man a year conversation, he's up. He's up. He's paid. He's good.
Yeah, because last year you could even say, like, as much as I liked him, and I'm pretty sure you did too, you could still look and be like, if the Hornets didn't bring him back, I would understand.
Nah, I definitely was saying we had to bring him back because he could score and he was willing to play defense.
He was.
Yeah,
and he was like the best player in the passing lanes after the trade deadline.
Yeah. So he did show me enough to bring him back for sure. But yeah, bro. Look, you feel me? I feel like we gotta talk about the clutch ending to the game, and then for me, we grab the show because I ain't gonna lie, I'm starving. I gotta make a cookout run. But bro, what did you think? Fourth quarter, lob to Miles. We take the lead.
Oh man, I was hyped.
And then from there, bro, it just like we were just going punch for punch. Like even when the Rockets would go up, we right back. Like
and it never felt like it was about to get out of hand either. Like
it was clutch.
It was one of them things where every time the Rockets would go up, you knew we were getting a bucket on the other end, man. It was fun. And you could see, did you see where they were showing LaMelo talk? I don't know who he was talking to in the stands, and he was talking shit to somebody in the stands after that lob. It was crazy. But that's how I knew like their spirit was up, like despite
morale was high. Morale was high for sure.
Yeah, because they knew
their way back. Even just when we cut it to, I'm trying to think what had happened. I think like Melo made a floater or something to cut it down to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, that's when they were like, yo, we can really do this. Yeah. I think that's when they were like, we can really do this. And I mean, LaMelo and Trey just took the fuck over. they just took over, bro.
And I like the 2-man game they had. Like you had LaMelo doing screens for Trey, you had Trey doing screens for LaMelo, and they really were just passing the ball back and forth. Like and
just 2-man, defense, like it's got to be us.
And the defense didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to switch. They didn't know because you didn't know what they were. That's the thing. Those two were scoring on all 3 levels of the game. The defense didn't even know, should we drop? Should we put? Because if we press, they just gonna get by us. If we drop, then they just gonna hit the 3. Like because even Trey was hitting deep shots, so they really just didn't know what to do between the 2 of them. So yeah, I like that kind of takeover. We definitely wish it was Miles, but
Plumlee with the game time.
Wait, what?
Game time free throws.
Who did?
Plumlee with the game time free throws.
Mason Plumlee
game time free throws. He's the best player in the world. Yo, that was a dark era, bro. That was a dark era.
Oh, man. Yeah. But Mason Plumlee fast breaks, man. Point Plumlee.
Oh, my God.
It was like, what am I looking at?
Yo,
and what made it worse is that, like, a little under half the time, he would pull it off. And it's like, I can't even get mad at a center being able to run a fast break 4 out of 10 times. Like, someone his size was able to do full court fast breaks by him, like one-man fast breaks, like at least 4 to 5 times out of 10. It's like, can I even really be mad at that? Like
it was disgusting to watch. I'm not gonna.
It was like, bro, he's doing behind the back passes. He was smooth, man. He was smooth. I actually did want to keep him like as a deep backup, but it was where we were playing him. It was too much. Having him start, having him be like a key player. There was some nights though. That first year, he was easy money on betting when you were betting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it was easy because they would always have him like 8 rebounds, and him, he would get like 14.
He did.
He couldn't do anything else though.
He did used to catch the bets on God.
But man, it was overall. I thought this game was fun. I'm glad I'm gonna be at the game on Friday in Atlanta, so
Oh, word! Yeah, I'm going to the game Saturday. I'm definitely going to the home opener. I definitely got to be there.
Yeah, gotta be there. So hopefully they don't piss me off. Like when I saw Brandon Miller get hurt, that's what I was more upset about. Was like,
Oh
bro,
God, I was just like, here,
bro, I'm about to go to
okay,
this
go.
game. Like, bro, don't piss me off by not playing. Josh Green already kind of pissed me off by not playing, but
Yeah, but
only because what his injury was.
But with him, we just kind of saw it. Like no contact shit is already scary enough.
Yeah,
My whole thing is just like I just want honesty and I want good communication. The PR team, I thought they were doing good. They were doing better. They, stuff was happening. We were getting those fast tweets.
yeah.
And bro, Kevin Durant is fucking selling. He got 6 turnovers. He's missing free throws. What are we doing? Anyway, damn, I lost my train of thought, bro. What was I saying? Bro, he pissed me off.
Oh, you were talking.
What was I saying?
You're talking about Josh Green and the PR.
Oh no. Our team in PR. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like we're getting these reports from the Twitter page. Some of the injuries happen and stuff. But then it's like Charles Lee comes out like, oh, I just want to give him a rest because of the Olympics, and he's like, oh, his Achilles is sore. What?
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw the non-contact injury. Like, so okay, some of his Achilles, but why do we not know that? Why do we not know that Mark's not playing at all, or he's not? What's going on with him until it's game 1. Sorry, he's not playing. Like,
the one thing I did see on that is that apparently during the preseason, you don't have to disclose injuries, and I guess it's because so many people do sit out just for the sake of sitting out. But yeah, that's what I saw is that the reason that it was that way is just because you don't have to do it. Now, what's the difference between telling us when it happened and telling us now? I don't know, but that's the reason. But I will say, to your point, I am glad that it doesn't seem like the Josh Green injury isn't too bad because James Wiseman had a non-contact injury, and I haven't checked the update, but as soon as it happened,
I think he's.
It was speculated he's done for the season, or at least a majority of the season. So for Josh Green to be questionable, it only happened 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'll take that. And if everything holds up to be true, if it's one of those things like they were doing the last few years, then we have another conversation. But if everything holds to be true, then I respect it. Like, hopefully he only misses like a couple. All I ask is that by game 20 or 15, we have our starters. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. That's where I kind of would. I'm like, all right, something needs to be.
The way that they're talking, I mean, it shouldn't be too much longer. I mean, it seemed. Well, I don't know about Josh Green, but I mean, you just say soreness is like, oh, okay, but we've seen that. With who was it who just was sore? I was soreness for the longest fucking time.
I know Cody Martin. That's how his original injury started.
And then
he was gone for 2 years.
As long as it's not none of that shit, bro. Like I can deal with whatever. Like I just want be clear. Let us know what's going on, so we're not steady asking what's going on with him. Where is he at? Where's he at? Just say he's gonna be reevaluated in 3 weeks, and then in 21 days. Oh yeah, the reevaluation was this, and that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah, I don't need nothing crazy.
That's all I need. Be transparent, so I don't have to sit here and wonder about it. That's it.
Yeah. So, do you think they're going to be both of them, Josh Green and Mark? Will you think they're going to be healthy within 15? Because I think Brandon Bill is probably going to be fine by either Friday or Saturday because they do have a back-to-back, so they may choose to wait till they get home. But
I think Brandon's going to be good. I think Mark is going to be good because he is doing on-court activity. Like he is doing something. He is in practices or just whatever in the process of coming back. And at the end of the day, it is a foot thing. So, okay, it is what it is. But as far as Green go, when it comes to that Achilles, we might slow walk it a little bit. The Suns are literally stealing my money, bro. I hate
them. They steal your money.
I hate them so much, bro. Like, and I don't even know why. Bro, they did this to me so many times last year, bro. And I just took what I showed that $157. Should have took it.
Oh, bro, I see. How are they losing to
nobody? Kevin Durant is selling. He went to free throw line with 0 for 2. He has 6 turnovers. Devin Booker has 6 points.
Oh my, yeah, I see that. That's crazy.
Bro, very unserious.
All for Brad Beal to be 7 for 11.
very unserious team, bro. I hate them so much, bro. Very unserious team.
They're
Very.
losing to the Clippers, who have Kevin Porter going 1 for 8.
They're losing to Kai Jones and Amir Coffey.
Kai Jones did dunk on Mason Plumlee earlier, and it was just like,
bro,
man, good to see Hornets, striving elsewhere.
it is so unserious, bro. Very unserious team. Just a joke.
Luckily we not having those kind of conversations about us, because
we're up.
After that first quarter, I was like,
we're up, bro.
Back.
We're up, and I truly think, bro, we should win 40 games. We should. I expect us to be a plus 500 team. Because it's like, and I know that tonight could be an aberration, but I truly think the way that we looked, I feel like we looked bought in. I feel like we looked like a cohesive unit, and I can only imagine, adding 3 starters to that.
Yeah.
And those 3 starters are bought in, and guys that are gonna enhance what we're already doing. Like Mark, in a way, you can just say he's kind of a better version of Nick. He runs the floor better. He has better hands. He's more athletic. He's more agile. He's a better shooter. He's better in pretty much every facet, but he's kind of relatively the same player. So, okay, we're going to just drop him in the same archetype, but he's better. Josh Green, that's just, okay, you pretty much are just adding another Cody Martin on the floor who's even better defensively and shoots 40%. Okay, great. And then... and then when Brandon comes back, come on,
that's a 20-point per game score.
You know what I'm saying? He was looking like he was due for the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? He's probably gonna be an All-Star this year, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
If we're good, I think so. If we're good, I definitely think
so. Bro. So I think sky's the limit, man. It's just about health, and so that's all I've been saying. Some people thought I was delusional with my predictions or whatever, but my whole thing is just health. I think I look at this roster and I compare it to that 43-win team. It's better.
I think so. I think we're
even that 43-win team was that close to being a 50-win team. We went over 7 in overtime. We lost. I remember we had injuries piling up. We had COVID piling up, and we're winning games out here with Martin and just literally insane lineups.
There were games where Kelly Oubre carried the team because of injury. Like, some people will be injured. Kelly Oubre has to drop 35 for us to win a game. And he was doing it.
He made like 13 threes or something like crazy. Shit. Bro. So it's where it's like, bro, and we were still winning. So it's just like, hey, bro, I think this is, could potentially be the best Hornets team in Hornets history. It sounds like a bold statement, but I see the vision. It's to the point where we're talking about a number 6 pick who was like, can we get minutes for him? Yeah. Can we get minutes for him? And I do think he deserved to play that. I think he should have played. Bro.
Tonight, he definitely should have played. I think he should have played. There's definitely going to be games where I'm like, okay, I see why he didn't play. Tonight is not one of those. I definitely thought he should have played.
Down 18, looking flat, and it's like you need forwards. He's not a center back. At the end of the day, the kid is 6'10".
And to, like you said, we were looking flat. His biggest thing right now he can provide is energy.
Yeah,
he does it every time. Every time he gets into the game, no matter if he's playing with KJ Simpson or LaMelo Ball, everybody just is up playing.
Yeah, so, and I just don't want to see. I can't say I don't want to see it become a habit, but it probably isn't. It's just like, Greensboro. But I don't know. I just want to see him get a chance. And Charles Lee talked about, giving going in with a deep rotation, and it's just like, bro, so what happened? What happened? I don't know. Oh no, bro.
Yeah, I don't really know, because if there was a game for him to play, it was definitely this one. Like I said, Miles didn't play the 38 minutes he normally plays. He only played 32. Nick Richards only played 24. Brandon Miller obviously didn't play the whole, game basically. I don't see why there weren't minutes for Tajon. I will say it did seem like Charles Lee wanted to go small, and I felt like that kind of took the Rockets off base, because even though technically their backup center, they either used Tari Eason or Jabari Smith, they couldn't really do anything about it. they really couldn't stop because we were out there running LaMelo, Micic, Seth, Grant, or Cody and Nick, or Cody and Diabate, or and they
couldn't match
couldn't
up.
do anything with it.
Charles Lee, bro, he's the future, bro. Like
I like one thing. I feel like I want to say this real quick, and then we can go. But I like that he'll try because I'm gonna be real. He had some lineups. I was like, what the hell is he?
But
doing?
He's trying shit though. Steve Clifford can sit there and watch it just go to hell, bro.
And that's what I like about Charles Lee. He would throw a crazy ass lineup out there. If they had a turnover, he'd be like, all right, everybody get out. Everybody get out. Yeah, I tried it. This ain't the game for it. I did like that. Like, as soon as he felt like something wasn't going the way it was supposed to go, or how he envisioned, he took him out. He was like, all right, we doing something else. So I did like that. I actually would like to go back and see like what lineups were ran the most, because he definitely had some crazy ones out there. Like, I have it playing right now, and it's Micic, Seth, LaMelo, Miles, and it's Micic, Seth, Trey Mann, and Miles, and Nick Richards. So he just threw anything out there. But right now it's an 85-83 game. So it's just like he was willing to try stuff. And this is when the game started turning in our favor. So.
Yeah, the game's turning in our favor, and I just get Micic out of there. Like I just didn't like just. He wasn't facilitating to the guys. Like, it was like, you got Trey Mann. He's out here getting ISO bucks. Like, I mean, except for when LaMelo was in, but it's like Mitchell wasn't feeding him and setting up the team. Like, I don't know. I didn't.
And he looked lost. Like, anytime he did have the ball, he looked lost. When he did share the floor with LaMelo, I will say, I guess he was able to like keep the ball away from the defense long enough to get the ball back to LaMelo. That's really
turnovers. Let's see how many turnovers he had.
I think he had like 2.
I felt like he was
3. I know he had 2 bad ones. I don't know how many.
He had 3. 3 turnovers, 1 assist, bad ratio.
Yeah, it's for a guy who that's his selling point.
Yeah, and it's like, saying you play 16 minutes, and I mean, what is he, 35?
Yeah, or 32? Yeah, no, 31. Is he 31? I think he's 31. He's 30. I think last year he was 29 to start the season. So. But all right, well, that's it.
Yeah, he's 30, bro. Man, he move like he's 36.
Yeah, he do. That's kind of
old 30.
There's
some guys you think you be like, he's like 26. You can find it 30, like, oh shit. Yeah, nah, he's
not even playing. Yeah, he's not even playing like European slow. Like, they just play a different brand of basketball. He's playing like he's hurt. Like, that's how he's
playing. Bro. Like, he just moves like, yo, are you straight? It's just, I don't even know, bro.
Yeah, but either way, Hornets get the dub. The air starts now. LaMelo Ball with a great press conference, or not press conference, but
bro.
He don't know how to be for someone who grew up on TV. He doesn't know how to be on TV,
bro. Like, it's just like he just doesn't care at all, bro. Like, he cusses, he doesn't.
And you could tell, like, the lady, I think her name, I don't remember her last name, bro. I think her first name was Ashley. She didn't know what to say after that. She was just like,
I mean, what I'm saying, I fuck with Kemba, bro. Like, yeah, bro.
He was like, bro. I'm gang, he gang.
Like, yo,
I fuck with him,
bro. Like, all right, LaMelo, take care.
Thank you. Let's get him out of here before he say something crazy.
Yeah, bro. Very unserious. Very serious.
Very unserious, but hey, that's our franchise.
That's our franchise.
That's our franchise.
He'll give you a 30-point triple double. I don't care what he say after. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, he don't. I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody has ever brought it up. They're just like, LaMelo's so funny. Like, it's like, that's how you know he just got his arm around the franchise, is because no matter what he do,